Hey, Cowboy fan, I know we all had higher hopes for this season. A 7-10 record just doesn't sit right with us, does it? We were hoping for a strong push, maybe even a deep playoff run. But here we are at the end of another disappointing season. So, what went wrong? Let's take a quick look back. At the start of the year, there was a lot of excitement. Dak Prescott was supposed to be at his best. The defense had big names like Micah Parsons, and we thought, finally, this would be the year. But we all know how it turned out. There were flashes of brilliance, those big wins that had us believing. But then there were the games that completely broke our spirit. The ones where we couldn't get it together when it mattered most. I don't know about you, but after every loss, I found myself asking the same question: how did we end up here? So let's throw this question out to you. What was the most frustrating moment of this season for you? Was it the missed opportunities, the inconsistency, or something else? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I know we're all feeling that pain, and I want to hear your perspective. And hey, while you're at it, if you're new around here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss our deep dives into everything Cowboys, especially as we look ahead to next season. Now, it's easy to point fingers after a season like this, but let's dive into what really went wrong. Stick around, because in the next chapter, we're going to break down the key issues that held us back this year. So, let's talk about Dak Prescott. I know you're probably torn about him right now, just like a lot of Cowboys fans are. At times, he looked like a top-tier QB, capable of leading us to victory. But then we saw those frustrating moments, the interceptions, the missed opportunities in key moments, and the inconsistency that we've grown all too familiar with. Now, don't get me wrong, Dak has heart and he's shown leadership, but can he carry this team to the next level? That's the big question. Do you believe Dak is still the guy to lead us to a Super Bowl, or is it time to start looking elsewhere? I mean, I'm not saying it's over for him, but you have to admit the doubts are creeping in, right? I want to hear from you. Do you think Dak is still our best option at QB, or is it time for a change? Drop a comment below and let me know. Maybe you're still hopeful, or maybe you're ready to see something new, and here's a thought for you. What if the team starts to explore other QB options this offseason? Would you be open to that? I'll throw up a poll on the screen. Do you want Dak back next season, or is it time for a new direction? Vote now, and let's see where the Cowboys Nation stands. In the next chapter, we'll dive into something that has caused a lot of frustration this season: coaching. Stick with me, because we're going to take a closer look at Mike McCarthy and his role in this disappointing campaign. Alright, now we need to talk about the elephant in the room, Mike McCarthy. I know many of you are frustrated with him, and I totally get it. Every time we felt like we're on the verge of something big, the coaching decisions seem to hold us back. The play calling, the in-game adjustments, it just hasn't clicked. It's hard to ignore that McCarthy was brought in to help guide this team to the next level. But how many times has he failed to deliver when it matters most? We've seen him make some questionable decisions, and it's left us scratching our heads. Some fans even feel like the team's potential is being wasted under his leadership. What do you think? Is McCarthy the right coach for the Cowboys, or has he overstayed his welcome? Now, here's a question for you. If McCarthy were to be replaced, who do you think would be the best fit to take over as head coach? Could it be someone with a more aggressive mindset, or should the Cowboys keep looking for a coach who can finally bring consistency? I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this, so drop a comment and let me know who you'd want in charge if a change is made. And just to keep the discussion going, hit that poll on the screen. Do you think McCarthy should stay, or should he go? Vote now and let's see where the majority stands. In the next chapter, we'll take a deeper dive into the front office and Jerry Jones' role in all of this. His decisions are shaping the future of this team, and it's time we talk about how much influence he should have moving forward. Now, let's talk about Jerry Jones. I know, some of you are probably thinking, why bring up Jerry again? But let's be real, his influence on this team is undeniable. From the very beginning, Jerry has been a hands-on owner, but it's starting to feel like he's a bit too involved. His desire to be the face of the Cowboys has had some serious consequences. What's frustrating is that every time we take a step forward, it feels like Jerry's decisions are holding us back. Whether it's pushing for certain players or making bold moves that don't pan out, his vision for the team has often seemed misaligned with what's best for the long-term success of the Cowboys. And while Jerry's been great for the business side of things, we've got to wonder, does he really know what's best for this team on the field? Think about it, he's made some bold moves, like bringing in high-profile players, but do you feel like the front office is making the right decisions consistently? Would the Cowboys be better off if Jerry took a step back and let a more experienced football mind take over the day-to-day operations? It's a tough question, right? Let me know what you think. Should Jerry loosen his grip on team decisions, or is his leadership still the right formula for the Cowboys? I want to hear your thoughts on this, so don't forget to leave a comment and share your opinion. And while we're on the topic of leadership, in the next chapter, we'll take a look at the future of the Cowboys and what this team needs to succeed moving forward. We've been stuck in this cycle of frustration, but could the future hold something better? Stick around for that discussion. Alright, now let's talk about the future. This team, your team, has the potential, no doubt about it. But the question is, can the Cowboys really win the Super Bowl in the near future? There's a lot of talent here, but there's also a lot of uncertainty surrounding key positions and decisions. And honestly, it all comes down to one thing: leadership. If the Cowboys want to take that next step, the right leadership has to come from all levels. It's not just about the players. It's about the front office, the coaching staff, and yes, even Jerry Jones stepping up in a way that aligns with the team's best interests. You've got stars like Micah Parsons, Dak Prescott when he's on, and CeeDee Lamb. These guys can lead this team to greatness, but they need the support and decisions to back them up. But here's the kicker: can the Cowboys get out of their own way? Can they stop making mistakes and capitalize on the opportunities in front of them? We've seen other teams bounce back, so why not the Cowboys? The right draft picks, the right coaching changes, the right strategy, could all of this set the Cowboys up for a future that includes lifting that elusive Lombardi trophy? What do you think though? Do you believe the Cowboys are headed in the right direction, or are we stuck in this cycle of almost? Drop a comment below and let's get into it. Do you think a Super Bowl win is within reach? Or are we just setting ourselves up for another disappointing season? As we wrap up, remember, being a Cowboys fan isn't easy, but it's also never boring. Keep the faith, keep the hope alive, and let's see what happens in the next few seasons. So we've covered a lot, and now it's time to look at what it will really take for the Cowboys to finally succeed. You've got to admit, this team has had its fair share of ups and downs, but it's never really been a lack of talent holding them back. It's been about the little things, the details. If the Cowboys are ever going to get over the hump and find themselves back in the Super Bowl, it's going to take more than just talent on paper. It starts with consistency. We've seen glimpses of greatness from players like Dak, Micah Parsons, and CeeDee Lamb, but it's been inconsistent. One week, they're unstoppable. The next, they fall short. If this team can put together a full season of consistent play, that's when things will start to click. And let's be real, that all comes back to leadership. The front office, coaching, and the players need to be on the same page. No more distractions, no more drama. And don't forget the draft. It's a crucial part of any successful rebuild. The Cowboys have had some great draft picks recently, but they need to keep hitting on those picks. A deep, talented roster is the key to staying competitive year after year. So what's next? It's about finding the right balance, building through the draft, making strategic free agent signings, and most importantly, trusting the process. So here's the question for you. Do you believe the Cowboys can turn things around? Do they have what it takes to make a Super Bowl run in the next few seasons? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think this team is headed in the right direction, or is it just another season of what could have been? As always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on all things Dallas Cowboys. Keep the conversation going, and I'll see you in the next one.